has a 12 and an 18-point game this year to get things going. Penetration, a little bit firm off the glass. Physical underneath. And, of course, Bobby Hurley. You had a chance to spend some time with him at shoot-around. Take the temperature for me.
Well, first of all, as a lot of people know, I played against him a couple times in my career. Really enjoyed playing against him. I love his intensity. I love his passion. And you could just tell he was ready for this game. Not happy about the game the other night. He even said, look, how many times does that shot go in? Looked like we had the game. It was a 1 in a million or whatever it was. So you just got to move on. And, sometimes, like I said in the open, you can actually become a lot better. You learn from mistakes. It can really focus your team.
I've had a chance to talk to both coaches. It's been wonderful and eye-opening. Beautiful no-look pass, but a miss. Graham there defensively. The jam was not there for Ibar.
Well, that's what they're missing when Jalen Graham is not in the game, that rim protection.
He's got the ball, he's got the baseline, he wheels and deals, and the beautiful touch. His first 2 points of this season.
Yeah, and the block on the other end, the points, and you can just see the length and athleticism by Graham. It's the domino effect, what it does to this entire team. It helps him immensely, makes him a different team. He reaches that right at the rim, and there he is protecting it again. You see on this buck right here, nice little easy spin. And that length he has, so there's a lot of guys on this team that have length, but maybe understated. 7-foot wingspan for Graham, 7'2" wingspan for Graham, and he's got height to go with it. I mean, this kid has really, he's going to bring everything they need from the inside.
They're going to take another look at this, and Bobby Hurley not liking what he is hearing. We'll find out in just a moment what, in fact, they are talking about. Interesting. I know a little bit later on in the game, I'd like to get inside your head if you don't mind. You were the eyes and ears of the tournament last year for the Pac-12 Network, which meant you didn't sit at this table. You sat in huddles and you sat behind benches. Maybe later on you could tell us what it was like to sit behind him.
Yeah, definitely. We'll tease that out. But it was really exciting. And just we sit on this side of the other side of the court. We can see the coaches and what they do. We don't always get to listen into the huddles. I remember years ago, obviously, being in those huddles, but to see Hurley and to see his passion and energy, incredibly contagious for his teams. And I was in that Pac-12 tournament last year. It was a lot of fun. And, we actually talked to the coaches before and after the game, and you could just tell, like, he went into that tournament set, the team had not played their best, and he was thinking, hey, we got a chance to win this thing. And he has unbelievable belief, unbelievable confidence. And I'll be interested to see how this team defensively plays in this game tonight, because so much is talked about Bobby Hurley, still the leading assist man in the history of college basketball. But for me, when I played against him, it was his defense. It was the energy, the intensity on the defensive end.
By the way, Michael Greenstein, Kevin Brill, and Crystal Hogan. And let's see what happened. We'll keep an eye on the clock. Keep an eye on both clocks. At that there you go. The game clock down below.
Just
see
stopped.
That 18:28's frozen, folks. So they make their decision. While the two officials were taking a peek, Michael and Kevin, Crystal had to do some explaining to Matthew Driscoll. You had a chance to chat with Crystal Hogan for a bit before the game.
Yeah, great player in college, played at Long Beach State. I asked her about reffing in this year versus last year with the fans and without it. And she said not a whole lot of difference, but clearly the energy, everybody knows that. In fact, everybody you talk to, I've now done 3 or 4 games this year. You've done a few. The first thing people say is how much better it is this year. Like it's miles different than it was last year.
We almost feel like we're stating the obvious when we say it, but it bears saying again. The 942 crew packing things out. The lower bowl, they have filled it in maroon and gold. They look great. It's such a great gathering. The curtain of distractions, second half. If you haven't seen it, hang around. Bagley nowhere close that time. Little break there. I was curious why the effort
tipped.
there. Oh, it was tipped. That's why.
That was tipped, so should be out of bounds. Easy ASU ball. He just missed the tip.
And
there.
that's why Carter Hendrickson
was trying
to make the save. Shot clock is at 8. Graham shares the basketball with Marion Jackson. Looking to get him going. 1,800 career points. Kamani lobs it up, nearly turned it into a bucket. Graham bats that one around. Osprey with the basketball. Jose Placer plays that role of guard, will bring it in.
Well, this North Florida team will shoot a ton of threes. That's really what they want to do. They want to make 10 double figures easily, the 12, 15 threes. That's their secret to success. And there they go, right on cue.
Adeboyan drops one in. Emmanuel Adeboyan, who is out of Orlando, Florida, Oak Ridge High School. 4 points a game. He's now 4 of 6 from 3 this year. Had 6 points at Texas A&M on the road. Kamani bodies up. That will send him to the line. Carter Hendrickson, first personal. Young man out of Mount Sterling, Kentucky, earning that whistle. He's been there a long time as Hendrickson. He's the old man for North Florida, but he's a junior chasing 1,000 points. Kamani Lawrence is at the line. So game 1, Kamani Lawrence, it was 19 plus 10. Game 2 was 19 plus 12. That's points, that's rebound for the fifth-year student. And you can see in the first 4 seasons, there were 2 in 106 games, 2 in his last 2.
Yeah, you can just tell. And, one of the things I thought about with him was he's played a lot of 3 and a lot of 4 over his career. And he's played in some crowded front courts. And I think this year, playing only the 4 right now, I think that's a great position for him because he's an incredible matchup for bigger 4s. They just can't handle his quickness in that mid-level game.
Looking for the touchdown pass. It appears they got it. Outstanding speed being showed off by Placer. He's got 4 points now.
Well, one of the things ASU will try to do is speed up North Florida, get them to turn the ball over. They've turned it over a lot. ASU, the ability to get up and pressure you. That time, the home run ball worked.
Gaffney elevates. Kamani looking for the right side. The glass wasn't his friend. That's off the mark. 7-2 the number. 16 around to go. Defensive opportunity that time, and he steps up, does Bagley. ASU 1 of 6 from the floor to start it. Nothing of 2 from distance. Up and under, tried the English to use the glass. Lawrence finds Gaffney, 1 extra pass. And Bagley with a hand causing a problem. That hand really did cause a redirection. And it looked like it was the veteran Hendrickson stepping in there. Slow start for the Devils. So he made it clear, right?
Yeah.
He made it clear, Coach Matthew Driscoll. You asked him, if you're winning in a game, what are you doing well? Well, what Dorian James did, knocking down 3s.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're getting some good looks. And when you play a big major like ASU and you're North Florida, not only if you're a three-point shooting team, you got to take good ones. You got to make them, but good ones will release the pressure on the other end going down on the fast break. They've taken good 3s and made them.
Bagley, Lawrence wide open, no whistle there as he flushes it home after the offensive rebound.
That's just too strong right there. He's too big and strong for anybody on North Florida down in the block.
North Florida shooting 37%. That's pretty respectable from 3 this year. That's top 100 in the NCAA. ASU, for sake of comparison, is at 27%.
Yeah, and the other thing you can see Lawrence do is guard outside on this. He'll switch some of these screens, come off the screen, another 3 going up. Wow.
He said he had to have him, right? That's Placer from UMBC is where he transferred, Baltimore County. He's had some big games. He's had a 31-point game at the Division I level.
Well, he hasn't hit any shots coming into this. 0 for 11 coming into this game. He hit that first shot, and that opened the lid.
Skip pass into the corner. Lawrence loses the basketball. Placer fights for it. North Florida's got it. Out front. Defensively, Kamani cleaned his own mess up.
Yep, good hustle down there to reach that one.
Little firm on the pass. It's a turnover. North Florida looking to take some chances. Look, if you're on the road. Well, what a beautiful night in the desert. You can feel fall settling in when it gets into the 50s. That's what Arizonans look for. So early numbers for the Devils. 2 of 10 from the floor. 1 of their last 7. They haven't made a 3. They haven't made a free throw. What gives, Dr. Muehlbach?
Well, and I think the other thing, ASU wants to pressure North Florida. They'll do that right here. North Florida, only 1 turnover. They've done a nice job taking care of it. ASU wants to get them out in transition, score those easy buckets.
Jay Heath is on his first time as a Sun Devil. Get to know him, number 5 in that white jersey. Jemiah Neal is out there as well. He is a bunch of energy. And one more you got to know, number 14 in white, Enoch Boakye, the Canadian. Number 14 in the middle right now, working defensively. 3 new names out there for the Devils, and in the end, it didn't matter. Another hammer dropped home by North Florida. A triple, that's Carter Hendrickson.
Yeah, he's shooting it at a high level, 46%. Their leading scorer. In fact, the only guy in double figures. Everybody else under 7 to 8 a game. A lot of teams scoring, but Hendrickson can really score.
Heath has been really looking forward to this time. He was out with that COVID protocol. Boston College transfer, where last year 15 points game scored, 600 points in 2 years at BC. Turnover.
Yeah, Bobby Hurley said, I asked him, hey, what is he really good at? I said, he can score, and it took him about, 4 seconds on his first offensive possession to knock it home.
And he's dying for the basketball. Neal, a good vision to find that pass. Into the corner it goes. Too firm, though, well off the mark that time. Osprey up. Whoa, 10. Somebody's feeling better about his shot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Lasser, who was struggling coming in. There goes Heath. He can score, said Bobby Hurley. We're very active.
Got a strong body, you can see that.
Wow, a hand in his face. That's DJ Horn.
Yeah, the thing I asked Bobby Hurley about Horn, what does he do well? He said, an absolute pure shooter, one of the best on the team, so living up to that. Got a good look there. ASU doing a better job the last 2 in half-court possessions.
DJ had 11 in the win over Portland, was just 1 of 7 from the floor in the loss to UC Riverside. 2 different games, having called both of them. He wants to have one of the positive ones tonight. He ran into defense. ASU had an answer defensively. And a whistle. Jacob Cruz is called for the foul. Guys, about, in your opinion?
You know, I think on the offensive end, he liked the last 2 possessions, moving the ball movement, passing side to side. I thought some of the early possessions we saw a couple of 1 pass, maybe no pass shots out of the offense in the half court. And then I think on the defense, I think it's one thing, just challenge guys out at the 3-point line. And back to what I said, at the Pac-12 tournament, he will challenge you. And he does it with confidence. He does it with belief. It's one of those things as a player, you love to be in those huddles.
It's an interesting lineup with both Graham and Boakye out there, the veteran, and then the freshman Neal has Boakye behind him. The Canadian goes to work, and he'll go to the line. Enoch Boakye from Brampton, Ontario. George Harrison Prep has played internationally representing Team Canada's junior teams, and the future is very bright for him. He's very raw, but it's very bright.
Well, you can just see the body and just how strong he is, long that he is right there. And then that was almost looked like he palmed it and kind of did that little short jump hook, but got a rebound out of his area. I think he's defensively a real problem for other teams. Offensively, kind of catching up, but a good start for him.
Enoch had 5 points, 6 rebounds in 13 minutes against Portland. 1 point and 6 rebounds in 15 minutes against Riverside. Again, just a freshman.
Well, and he's got, a 7'4" wingspan.
That's
Sutton.
correct.
You could see that. One of the reasons he got that rebound was the 7'4" wingspan, but gave up that little jump hook. Did not have great position inside. Nice little move there.
Yeah, that's Jaden Parker. 2 freshmen dueling there. Jaden averaging 6 points a game. Had 13 at Texas Tech on the road. Think about these players with such a young team. Graham, a little runner. Boy, that was pretty. You don't see bigs usually have that kind of touch.
Well, again, nice ball movement. And it got the defense scrambling a bit. No one was even on Graham at that point. That enabled him to have just a clear lane.
Well, it looks like a positive to have the two of them together. Boakye, who is, again, very raw.
Look at Neal at 40 feet with that size, too. Man, he is really covering.
Jemiah Neal, the freshman, another freshman. Shot clock at 5. Defense has been there this time as Neal steps out again.
Yeah, they're covering the three-point line big time.
Enoch grabs the rebound.
They are forcing North Florida to drive it.
Marion fires the pass across, three-point attempt and a miss by Jay Heath. Last year he shot 35% from distance at Boston College.
That's
42.
That's the shot that's not falling for ASU right now that will fall. There's a number of these guys that have made those shots. You've said it over the course of their career, just not falling in these early games.
They're 1 of 6 so far, ASU from distance. Boakye does his job defensively. ASU basketball. One of the big problems in the last matchup with Riverside and why they hung around is that much like North Florida is attempting to do, they shot threes a lot. They made threes. They were 10 of 20 in the first half. In the first half from distance.
Wow. Okay. Well, again, not much margin for error for these mid-majors like this, and so if you can get 3 instead of 2, just simple math. See Neal on the offensive end. I like the way Neal moves early, Sut. He's a real interesting freshman.
It's funny you'd say that because coaches always look at film, right? We talked to Matthew Driscoll, the head coach of this North Florida team, and he started going down some different places. You know coach speak, right? I always am thrown off by it. They don't ever say the name. They just say the number. Yeah, 4. He's pretty good. Yeah, coach, that's Kamani Lawrence. Yeah. But then he got to 55, who's Jemiah Neal. He said he may be long-term the best of the bunch. And I thought that was a huge compliment.
Only seen him a few possessions now, but see what he does with this.
And nearly turned it into something. Jackson up with it. Kamani got all kind. He looked around. Wait, I'm all alone. This is easy.
Well, you talk about the game slowing down when you get really good at this level. The game right now is so slow for Kamani. It's so easy for him in a way. Like it's just coming very easily to him right now.
Matt Muehlbach, Darren Sutton, glad to have you with us. Graham there defensively. Double Nichols right behind. No look past Kamani. A miss on a lay-in.
Yeah, Neal waited for that play to develop. Great job by the taller guard there.
There was a lane there, but Kamani Lawrence answered back. But an offensive rebound and a bucket for Jonathan Ibar. Outstanding player in high school at Central Point Christian Academy, just outside of Orlando in Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah, they'll need his size. That's the one area they lack a little bit, is size. He'll have to continue doing that if they want to hang.
Okay. Marion Jackson, welcome to the party. Had 2 against Portland, had 2 against Riverside. That's a 3.
That's his first 3 at ASU, right? I think he was 0 of 6 coming into this one, and a guy who can flat shoot it. So good to see him get that going.
I mean, remember, when you talk about him and what he had accomplished at Toledo, that's 1,800 career points, 1,800.
That's crazy.
That's a score. And it's a big night after a quiet start to the year for Jose Placer. An NCAA tournament, they were right on the outsides looking in, and they lost to Robert Morris, couldn't move into the field of 64. But you asked their head coach before the game, Matthew Driscoll, if there's a couple of things we can share about your program, what would you like for us to tell all the fans out west?
Well, I mean, so many things with these guys, but I think just the way they play, you know, how passionate they are, you know, what they've done and how good they've been in their league. No one really knows them on a national level, but you really understand when you get to know, you know, the results that they've had from a league standpoint. They have really dominated their league right now. And, you know, I love what he said, too, about playing these games on their own. You talked about it, Sut. You were a guy that played at a small college, pitched in that small college, and they said how nostalgic it is for them to play in these games against the high major, as we see the big follow right there by Gaffney. But I was interested in what you said and what your experience was.
Yeah, it's similar. By the way, I will tell you, offensive foul sends it back the other way. he did say something about Gaffney, which will back up what he just did a moment ago. He called Gaffney, and I've never heard this. I should know this by now. A hard prep guy.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to prep for him, and that's why.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting with all the scorers out here, and then Gaffney with his length. This ASU team, I start going around the lineup, a really long team when you look at Gaffney, when you look at Neal, when you look at just all their front line guys, Graham. I mean, it really is long, and there's another one.
Kimani Lawrence, flush.
They're running their half-court offense so much more crisp at this point. Much better execution, much better pace, and on the defensive end, really getting out on North Florida.
This game opened up 16-4. Don't forget about that. They've got a road game with Kentucky. They play UCLA next.
Boom.
And a whistle. Bobby Hurley does not like it. One more time on Lawrence.
Well, this was a pretty easy play. Just a UCLA cut off the high post. Good screen. No help, and Lawrence knows what to do with it. Again, you know, his athleticism, strength, size down below, it's just a matchup problem in college right now. I'm trying to think of a comp, but it's just he's really dominating.
To finish your thought, Matthew Driscoll said it's nostalgic. They'll remember going to play on campus at ASU, at UCLA, at Kentucky, which is coming up. I've had a fun career. I've been lucky. My dad's in the Hall of Fame as a baseball player past this year. I've seen a lot of sports things. I'll never forget, more vividly than any of those other things, calling games in the big leagues, Yankee Stadium, pitching as a small college guy against Mississippi State. They invited us to come play. I'll never forget it. So he's right. It is nostalgic.
Yeah.
These athletes will never forget these Power 5 games.
When you say Texas Tech, Texas A&M, GCU, now ASU, you got UCLA in a couple nights. I mean, that's a big-time couple weeks.
There's Gaffney again.
Woo, he tried to dunk it.
Yeah, and the defense was there that time. Josh Barenbaum, they think a lot of him, a freshman. 4 points, 4 rebounds a game. Oh, boy, that's bad news that he has arrived for night for ASU. He had been so cold. The word his coach used was cold. Placer is not cold.
Yeah, I'll repeat it again. 0 for 11 from 3 coming into this one. 2 for 3 already, 5 for 6 from the field. 13 points already in this first half.
Gaffney.
Good look.
Waits for the defense to fly on by. A little bit firm. Placer's got 13 points. Kimani Lawrence has 6 for ASU. He's also got 3 rebounds. Placer by far has been the offense for this North Florida team, the Jacksonville, Florida-based university. They'll keep shooting that 3 all night long.
Looks like Bagley got hurt on that one. May have turned an ankle. Probably coming out.
No look pass, and it's a turnover.
He gets a steal. He was motioning to come out and then got the steal. Incredible.
Yeah, he's hobbling around a little bit. He says thumbs up to his bench.
Oh, nice
what a pass from
nice
Neal.
look.
Oh, my. Jemiah, beautiful dump underneath.
There goes Bagley coming out. God, Neal, the pump fake first of all, and then the look down low to get. You know, there was a guy that I used to remember, I think it was in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. Louis Orr was an NBA player, and I remember him because he was number 55, and it was just, you know, not a number you don't see a lot in basketball. Neal has 55, and he plays like him. Real slender, has the same body type. Pretty crazy.
Well, great vision, Marion Jackson. That's turned into a 3-point bucket for DJ Horne.
And you can see when he whaps the net like that, that's a good shooter. That's a guy with tremendous rotation, perfect arc. He's got it going a little bit right now. Now there's that 3, that little baseline, almost like that hammer play they have run at times. And as I said, watch the net when this goes in. This is not a rattler. This is not, that is just all money right there. Now that's the play set, the hammer play a lot of teams run. They run it to the baseline. You flare the wing or the guard out to the other corner right there. It's open a lot. Remember ASU ran that play a couple times last year to win a couple games.
Lawrence drawn in by the fake. And a chance to go to the line and put up 3.
Well, coaches, it's one of those things now. Coaches are teaching this all the time, which is how to cover a three-point shot, because down low, you can be really physical on a shot and not get called. On the three-point line, you better be really careful. The refs are going to call it. They've been calling it the last few years. You get inside their airspace, inside of their feet like this, and I think that's what it was, just inside of his feet. You could make an argument he jumped in to Kamani right there. I mean, if I'm Kamani, I'm saying, wait a second, I just went up and contested a situation.
And they're looking to that even more this year. They've made it clear, the flop, I know it's a lazy term, but they're keeping an eye on that more than ever.
They are, and both sides too, right? Offense and defense.
It's a 30-25 game thus far. Hendrickson has got 6 points. He's got 5 rebounds as well. ASU 11 of 29 from the floor, shooting 38%, 3 of 11 from distance, 27% mark. One more pass. Boachi closes the deal.
There's that length that I'm talking about, and really nice patience for ASU against the zone right there. They passed it around, but once they got it into the middle was the key.
Placer continues his incredible night. He's got 15 points now.
Yeah, he was flat out due, and now he's absolutely feeling it. ASU doing a good job on him. He's just making big buckets.
Again, he had 13 against Texas Tech. 5 times he's gone 20 or more points in a game in his college career, Placer. At 31 last year against North Alabama, the school up in Florence. In a conference game, Placer.
Got to put it up. Woo!
Wow.
This kid, man, he is this kid's a hard prep right here. He's got a lot of game. That was just shot clock running down, one-on-one, put something up.
We saw Enoch Boachi take advantage of good passing a moment ago. His team is down a pair, the freshman. Talented Canadian athlete. Meantime, Heath comes up short. There's Enoch again. And he'll go to the line. Oh, Enoch. Establishing his presence for ASU. Enoch Boachi has played internationally. He's from Brampton, Ontario. People have a hard time with Boachi. Just go with Enoch. It's much easier. Or better yet, how about Enoch knocking on heaven's door?
And receive it, number 2. Because of that length, he can get it to the other guy with a lot of length. The 7'4" wingspan on Enoch. I'm going with Enoch. And by the way, you don't think I'm letting that go. Enoch knocking on heaven's door. That is not let it. You can't just roll into the break and think we're moving on from that. Come on, man. That was awesome.
Rare is it that I try and script things. It usually just comes from out of this disjointed mind. But I was waiting for a moment because everyone does talk about the name Boachi or Boachi.
Yes,
you
Boachi.
can talk about it. You know, many have said we're just going to go with Enoch, and immediately the Enoch knocking on heaven's door popped into my head.
As they say, that you were sitting on that one.
I was. It's got to be. He earned it at that point, right? That's fair, isn't it?
You were sitting on that fastball.
Wow. Speaking of sitting on a beautiful opportunity, Chaz Lanier, the young man out of the Ensor School in Nashville, Tennessee, averaging 4 a game. He had 6 points in 11 minutes across town at Grand Canyon the other night.
Nice split there.
Heath has it swatted away. Here's Chaz one more time.
Well, you see here, out of a timeout. Looked like they ran that little backdoor play. And that was an easy dunk, but it was the execution and the look and the cut.
ASU 4, their last 5 from the hardwood. Up, short. And a miss that time by Jay Heath. Jay Heath, by the way, a Washington, D.C. native. He's out of Woodrow Wilson High School. USA Today All-D.C. team member a couple of years back. Woo. He's just a sophomore. Pocket picked. Heath closes the deal at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, Gaffney, again, using that length. Look at, that's what I'm talking about. Gaffney can go out at 35 feet and guard guys, and that's a huge advantage. Not only guard them, but get the steal on top of it.
Now 5 of the last 7 ASU. It's a fun game, folks. This has been a fun game tonight. North Florida showed up. Boakye, and that's where he'll have to continue to grow and learn. And it's tough, right? No matter what, but a freshman foul that time, a chance to turn it into a 4-point play, 3-point play, I should say. Here it is a moment ago.
You could see him there. He was not sure how to help. And so a lot of the times if you help, you have to help 100%. But he needed help from the other weak side, someone to come down and help on that shooter right there. So it was not all his fault. And when I look at Boakye, you know, the easy comp for me, Ben Wallace. And I don't like comping guys just because their hair, and he has the same hair as Ben Wallace, but he has the body. I mean, absolutely has an NBA body right now, and he has that defensive mindset and toughness that Ben Wallace had.
When he walks into the building, you know he is there. You can say the same about DJ Horne once he starts playing. Horne drains that one. You can give him 9 points. He ties it up.
41% three-point shooter. That's a guy that's not going to keep missing shots, and you can feel the rhythm he has right now is so good.
And DJ last year shot 298 times at Illinois State. 144 of those attempts were from three. Great job, Gaffney, defensively that time. Just kept an arm up in the air. Boy, he does sniff those points, doesn't he? He loves to shoot the basketball.
Mid-range guy, too.
Under a minute. 37 apiece. At one point, North Florida was up 12 to open this game, 16-4.
There's good D by Boakye right there. Solid D so far. Good job, altered that shot.
Yeah, these two freshmen are having fun. I mean, it's fun to see him. Jaden Parker is the man who was stopped that time, but he's gotten Boakye a couple of times.
He has, yeah, gone at each other.
Parker last year had 11 points in 15 minutes at NC State in his COVID freshman year. So he's had moments. These guys have all had moments on the road.
Yeah.
Could call a timeout. Glad Bobby called this timeout here.
Try to run something up here. He had the timeout to use. 12 seconds left. Try to create something in this 12 seconds. All tied up. You wonder what they're going to do. Maybe go to DJ Horne. Horne's been hot right now, and you wonder if they run some sort of stagger screen or something to get the three.
Hey, don't forget, ASU Wrestling hits the mat in Friday's home opener against number 19 Oklahoma for their final season at Desert Financial Arena. What an amazing program. Get your tickets
games
today. I've had so much fun with those matches.
I should say matches.
Get your tickets today at sundeviltickets.com. Sundeviltickets.com. I had the good fortune of calling their massive upset. Iowa had won 50-plus matches in a row, and in this building, upsetting them, storming the house.
Yeah, and you said something that just it's clear to me watching this team live is how deep they are. And that'll be something Bobby Hurley will have to figure out. When everybody's healthy, everybody's in the game. They've got 10 guys. And, you know, does he narrow that down to 7 or 8 at some point, or does he just go with the 10 and try and integrate them together? And on top of it, it's even tougher, Darren, as you know, with all these teams, a lot of new guys, new faces, and especially tough when you have new guards, because guards are really trying, you know, that's sort of the engine that makes the offense go, and they've got to figure that out.
And so away we go into the second half. Placer had a layup. Instead, he gave up on a pass, looking for a long-distance shot. He had a layup right in front of him, though. I was curious.
Yeah, I wonder if he thought maybe Gaffney was going to come down and challenge that. But maybe they just want threes. Hey, when they can get a three, they'll go for it.
Bobby Hurley, head coach ASU. Matthew Driscoll, head coach in North Florida. Driscoll, 192 career wins. Program that transitioned between 05 and 09 to the Division I level. Played a team the other night, as that one's taken right away. I mean, right away. Gaffney. Graham has it stopped on the other end by Hendrickson.
Yeah, he stuffed it before he really got up in the air. Didn't meet him at the rim, just met him about 3 feet in front of that.
Keep an eye on Graham. He had a bit of an edge coming out for the warm-up. Still trying to gain his confidence there and get comfortable. That time, Dorian James up against Graham with a bucket.
Well, James made a really tough shot right there. That was not easy to go up above Graham, and it was from a good 7-8 feet out. Good move by him.
foul outside the box. Here's Graham a moment ago.
Yeah, that was the one I thought it was going to be interesting to see him meet at the rim, but he gets him way before. He gets him 3 or 4 feet out in front of it, and maybe the only way Hendrickson could have stopped him.
First game back, missed the first couple of games. Graham did, COVID protocol, has 4 points, has played just 9 minutes. And you could sense, again, as we talked about, beautiful sharing of the basketball. Gaffney with the hammer.
Yeah, that was a really nice drive by Jackson on that one, and Gaffney with that size and length, easy for him to put it away. You can see just Ohio State. I know why Ohio State recruited this kid. He can play.
He played there his freshman year, ended up going to JUCO last year. Not too far, really, from where these young men are from in North Florida.
Right.
Alonzo Gaffney went to North Florida, Northwest Florida Junior College, a little bit more towards Pensacola, Florida.
Lawrence has a mismatch here and just takes him. Nice, easy jump hook. They helped out on the other side.
Gaffney went down hard. Actually had a second chance at that second chance, and it was knocked away. Lasser up with a flush.
Boy, he shoots it nice, doesn't he? Man, he's not only is he shooting it nice, but he's feeling it on top of it. Great job by Hendrickson to look for him on that one.
Tough kid, too. Had stitches at halftime in a game last year. Played in the second half. Next game out, and those back-to-backs had 20. So he might not stand as tall as a lot of the big skyscrapers out there, but he's tough.
Yeah, definitely. Here's
along the baseline, a defensive stop there for the Ospreys.
Wow.
Nowhere close. You will not be chastised for that shot. No. Great effort defensively, trying to push and push, but now they're a man down. And Jalen very peacefully takes advantage. Nice job breaking that down. They were a man down, North Florida.
Yeah, again, Jackson finding his way into the key. He's done a nice job early making things happen for other guys on the team.
See what's happening, too, by the way. Jackson sharing that basketball. He's had a couple of assists back-to-back here. He's got 3 now. Here's just a moment ago.
Yeah, here was the one. I think this was the Gaffney bucket. See Jackson here on this one. Sorry, the Graham bucket. And Jackson just making it happen. And you know, Jackson is such a there's DJ Horn who can really make things happen. Shooting Jackson going out on the other end, but I like to see Jackson doing what he's doing to help his other team. You know, he can score, he can rebound, he does everything. He had 2 triple-doubles at Toledo, but right now getting other guys involved.
And still hasn't scored like he wants to as a Sun Devil. They hope that will come, but as you said, sharing the basketball, Damani Lawrence will go to the line.
Well, to me, there's a few guys on this team. You know, if Coach Driscoll for Northern Florida says that Gaffney's a tough prep, I mean, to me, Kamani Lawrence, really tough prep. I think Neal's going to be a tough prep. And I think all these guards are tough prep for ASU. I mean, they all do different things. They all can score. They can shoot it. Very versatile guards on this side for the Sun Devils.
First free throw dropped in. Jaden Parker back onto the hardwood. Lawrence has 7 points, 5 rebounds. Devils make their first free throw. Kind of funny, isn't it, folks? They're 1 of 7 from the line. I'm sure Bobby Hurley doesn't think it's funny, so I should check my words there. ASU coming in as a free throw shooting team, 77% in just 2 games. Been to the line 22 times prior to this game, making 17. Horn whistled for a foul that time. First. We talked about what a great defender Bobby Hurley was throughout his career. It's fun to do games and remind yourself what he accomplished. The 1,700 points, the 1,076 assists.
Yeah, his NCAA record on top of that was no one touches that.
Well, beautiful dump pass, and it was Placer sharing it backwards to Jaden Parker in the lane.
Yeah, good half-court offense there, execution.
By the way, you were in my head because that's the one thing I was going to point out at the end of those numbers. He was 18-2 as a player in the NCAA tournament. Lawrence slowing things down, isn't he?
That's unguardable, really, for anyone in college. There's like two guys that could guard that. I mean, he's got so much length, quickness, and just took his time, as you pointed out.
Offensive foul. Gaffney. Johnny on the spot. He was in the exact perfect place at the perfect time. Bobby Hurley's team on a mini run. They're up 3. Mr. Bagley, nothing serious, they hope. Minor lower body issue down in the legs.
Yeah, not playing right now, and you can see it there. And the ice he's using, but obviously missing an incredibly dynamic scorer, shooter. Maybe one of the top 2 or 3 shooters in the Pac-12 this year. I was surprised looking at his numbers. You know, he only played 12 games last year and, you know, averaged 6 rebounds a game. I thought that was pretty good. Got on the glass a lot, something they can help. Obviously the perfect kind of 2-3 man for them this year.
And his premium game was that 21 plus 5 plus 3 assist against Houston Baptist. He did that in 21 minutes.
I asked him who his favorite shooter was. He said Klay Thompson. And it reminds me a little bit of their shots. They're both really simple in the way they shoot them. Fundamentally really sound. Obviously Klay, one of the best in history. And well, Bagley getting there, you know, trying to become a great shooter, and he's already a long way there.
On a nice pass to Gaffney a moment ago.
Wow, that's deep.
Couldn't convert. Deep 3 misses off, and here comes Heath.
So even though that was deep, I think Gaffney altered that shot.
Jacob Cruz comes on. It's Cruz that fires that 3-point attempt. Jacob, the freshman out of Hilliard High School in Florida. Horn, a triple. He's got 14.
Yeah, he's got 4 threes tonight, and that has been the key for him. He has really keyed this run by ASU, just feeling it, taking good shots.
DJ Horn is from Cary, North Carolina. In 2 years at Illinois State, he scored 633 points. And man, did DJ have some big games on his resume. Averaged 15 points a game last year, shot 42% from 3 a season ago.
I thought he might fake this because he had such pressure on that shot. He had to shoot it so high, but you're feeling it like that. He didn't even care about faking it.
So in his 2 years at Illinois State, he had 263 attempts from 2 and 261 from 3. So he is very comfortable further away from the bucket. He's a fun player.
3 and 9 coming in, and that was something Bobby Hurley talking about. Just this will even out like your baseball average. You know, over time, it's going to hit the right mark, and he's a much better shooter than his start.
Foul underneath, frustrated by that whistle, Graham.
It looked at first glance like Graham was there. You know, those are the weirdest charts because he was there. He was set, but because he got hit sort of on the side set instead of just directly in the chest, a lot of times those calls go against a defender because it feels like maybe they weren't there and they're using like their shoulder to bump him, but I thought he was there. He just didn't get hit, you know, straight on.
The curtain of distraction is open for business after being closed based on COVID last year. I'll share some of the hijinks throughout this second half. It's at some point famous, at some point infamous, a 9-4-2 crew with the distracting curtain of distraction.
Yeah, they've been sitting on a full year of stuff on material.
Good stuff. Neal out of control. Nearly got the basketball back. You could tell all of a sudden he thought, I have no option. Devils up 5, though. This North Florida team, one of their last 7 from the floor. Gaffney's extended.
Right.
And he earns a whistle.
And I think he got all ball there. That was a good play by him. He got a little body after he got all ball, but watch here He first gets the ball, I think, before he gets body. There was body after, but I thought he got the ball first. And to your point, Sut, just being able to get out there at his size. I mean, it's just incredible, his footwork out there. He's going to be a terrific defender on screen and roll this year.
7'3" wingspan, very athletic with that wingspan, as you saw a moment ago.
And for those that don't know, he's guarding North Florida's best player. I mean, in terms of all-around big player, you know, you look at Carter Hendrickson, he's 6'7", 217. He goes inside, he goes out, he hits threes, and Gaffney's done a great job on him.
Yeah, Hendrickson's going to have 1,000 points in a blink of an eye in his career, so you're exactly right as he sits for a moment. You think about that wingspan for Gaffney. I mean, if he were my brother growing up, that'd be the one that I want to sneak the cookies out of the cookie jar, because he could reach and Mom wouldn't notice. He's got that kind of extension. Because they were chocolate chip, no walnuts.
At ours, it was the peanut butter cookies.
Ooh, nice.
Gotta have the peanut butter cookies. Snickerdoodles.
Graham, a little extra step there.
That was easy.
Kept his balance nicely. Looked like a gymnast on a balance beam going through there.
It's a good description.
That's pretty. I thought for a moment he'd lose his footing. And he didn't travel. I don't think. Challenged defensively.
No, he didn't.
We'll take a look at it. Cylinder, so no bump.
You're going to go on the road and play those Texas teams, 2 Pac-12 teams at ASU, at UCLA. And that'll, I'll tell you what, that'll get you battle tested pretty early.
They'll be on a flight tomorrow morning to Los Angeles. They'll take on UCLA in a couple of days. As a matter of fact, speaking of flights, we won't name names as far as airlines go. We know it wasn't Allegiant. They're proud partners of the Pac-12 network. But on their way out here, they thought they might have to play Grand Canyon in Grand Canyon's practice uniforms because their uniforms were a little late in getting here. Plus, if they would have flown Allegiant, that wouldn't have happened.
That would not have happened.
The life on the road. Tough to study on the road, although in the world in which these students have evolved during COVID remotely, maybe a little bit easier. They're used to it more.
I'll tell you a true story about studying on the road and how hard it is. Just a second here as Gaffney puts that up. It's a tough shot into shot clock there.
Crossair. Active draws kneel and draws the whistle. I'm on the edge of my seat, by the way.
So I was a good student, very good student, and I would bring my homework. Bobby Hurley probably did the same thing at Duke. We would bring our homework. I brought it every single road trip. I had the intention of studying every single road trip, and I never did. I mean, I'm telling you, it's so hard because they get on the road. They do so much. The intensity of the games, the intensity of the practice. Bobby knows what I'm talking about. And it's not easy. Like I said, I had every intention. After the games, you are so emotionally drained. There's no way you can get studying in. Before it, you're pumped up, you're jacked up, you're getting ready, you're talking to your team. It is very difficult to do. But what they do is they do have the study tables with the team, sometimes mandatory. Those were the one times I would study, but never on the plane, going or coming home. It was just too difficult.
Makes sense. It's challenging. And these young men are still young men.
They are. It's just
learning how to multitask, and time management's everything for a college athlete, as the curtain of distraction will be open for business again. They got Kimani Lawrence. That's his 3rd foul. Try not to be distracted, by the way, if you watch this at home.
There we go. So I don't know if you remember this, but at one point I was in the curtain of distraction with an outfit on prior to a game.
Really?
With the open.
Wow.
I think it was year 1 of the curtain.
I'm jealous of you about a lot of things. But that's top of the list. I've been able to do fun little things like running the Milwaukee Brewers sausage race and things like that.
You have done that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
But that would be top of my list. That'd be a bucket list situation. To be in the curtain of distraction, it's turned over. Nice job defensively.
Yeah, they sprung a trap on him right there, half-court trap.
Florida's one of their last 7. Haven't scored a basket in about 5.5 minutes.
Good there by Jackson to reach in. Neal. Ooh.
Jemiah will go to the line. He's from Toledo, Ohio. And in the middle of COVID, when programs were dropping their seasons because they had to, he found Phoenix Hillcrest Prep and said goodbye to his family. It was courageous. He said it was tough. But within 2 months, Bobby Hurley had seen him and offered him. So he made a sacrifice, went away from home, came out here where things were opened up a little bit more and earned himself a scholarship. He did make it clear, though, that Midwest hoops, not for the weak of heart. That's a direct quote.
Was it? Yeah.
He loved his time grinding in the Midwest.
Little different brand of basketball. Not always, but
no.
I think at its heart maybe a little different.
He's a fun player.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're looking out there at a freshman. Averaged 18 per game. 7 rebounds, 5 assists at Hillcrest. Jackson continues to pass the basketball well. Little push underneath. Isn't that what really well-rounded quality players do? They're not scoring. They just aren't. And he's going to have 2,000 points soon. But I think the good ones, they understand how to help their team. And I'm marveling at Marian Jackson doing that.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. And we talked about him earlier, the 2 triple-doubles at Toledo. I got my trivia question for you today, Sut.
Quickly, let me point out, men's hoop next. Long Beach State, UCLA, Pac-12 Network, Roxy and Bill Walton on the call. Hang with us, hang with us. That's a good one coming up next.
All right, so Jackson had 2 triple-doubles at Toledo. I think he had them within like 18 days of each other or something like that. It was crazy. There have been 2 ASU players to have triple-doubles. Do you know who they are?
That's a good one. I mean, you always guess the stars, right?
Well,
like the Byron Scotts and the James Hardens. And
I would have thought Harden would have had like 12 of them or something. And I'll give you one clue. It was not Harden.
Okay.
And actually, one of them is pretty recent. And one of them's probably, I think, 8-9 years ago. And he's a big. That's my other secret. My hint.
Did James Pendergraph have a triple-double?
It's a good call.
That's a lot of assists for a big, though.
For a big, so he had block shots. That's the
good
clue.
Call.
So Jordan Baczynski had a triple-double. Had
with blocks?
Had double figures in blocks, and the other was Zylan Cheatham.
Ooh, okay.
And so that makes sense. Like the Cheatham one makes sense because I think of him and how he played and rebounded, handled the ball, but it is surprising that Harden doesn't have like 7 or 8 of them or more.
Talking about the triple-doubles for Marian Jackson. Had one last year against Ball State, then immediately thereafter against Miami of Ohio. At the 9-minute mark, that one's off the mark. Jackson, thus far in this contest, the outstanding point guard, has 3 points. He has 3 assists. He's 1 of 4 from the floor. He's continuing to work out there. He'll bring the basketball up. Son of LaWanda and Herman. The sibling to Marquise and Martin. Marian, Garfield Heights High School, Cleveland, Ohio. Talk about Midwest basketball. Graham. That's a couple of times. He makes that look easy. Little spin move, soft touch.
He likes the spin move. It gives him like his rhythm on those little floaters. I think that's the reason he's so good at it.
He's got 10 now. And a quiet 10. Defensively, knocked that one out of bounds.
Yeah, he altered that shot right there on the defensive end. Yeah, here comes another spin move for him right here. He kind of has no double, He sees that there's no double. Then the double comes from the low side, but he's so far into his move right there, they just can't guard it.
Jalen Graham, Mountain Point High School here in Phoenix, Arizona. A blocked shot machine. Always good to change shots, stop shots. That one had Kamani Lawrence running at it, and he adjusted that shot. And it's turned over. 8th ASU turnover. North Florida has 10. One of their last 11 from the hardwood. Very quiet. They're down 10, North Florida.
Yeah, they need a bucket if they're going to hang in this game. 7:50 to go, down 10, and they've really struggled. Nice step back, nails it.
Wow.
Plaisir, he can absolutely play. Whew.
Wow.
Harden earlier, the guy who has perfected it better than anyone in the world, but that was that little side step back. That would, under the letter of the law, really be, in my mind, a travel. But the refs this year, as long as it's not egregious and it looks like it is in rhythm with the play, they are not going to call that a travel. And as I said, it's a little bit of the James Harden, NBA, Kyrie Irving. Those plays are going to be allowed this year.
Creativity. There's a little bit in that as the lid is on the bucket. Horn, who's had an amazing game. 4 of 7 now from distance. He's got 14 points to go along with 4 rebounds. Mr. DJ Horn. Well, there's back-to-back big threes and a stop in the middle of it. Carter Hendrickson with the triple.
Well, and he's their leading scorer, but has really struggled. It was Plaisir who had struggled before this game. He caught fire. See if they, in their mind, want to get both of them working. They go into a zone now. See if ASU attacks in the middle like they did earlier.
That's exactly what they did. He telegraphed that shot. It was swatted. And so DJ Horn just continues to be the steadiest of all. He's got 16 now, 6 of 9 from the floor.
Yeah, he's just rolling right now.
And an answer right back. Plaisir with another runner. He adds to his tally. He's got 21 points and 6 assists. DJ Horn, no stranger to big games. He dropped 34 on Northern Iowa last February. Jackson up with it. Expect more of that as he continues to play.
That's right. He has mid-range game. He has 3 game, but mid-range game as well. I like him in the middle of the zone because he's such a good decision maker and just all-around player, and he can knock it down, which he did there.
Horn had a game against Bradley last January, DJ did, where he was 5 of 9 from distance at 23. Speaking of distance, a miss that time for North Florida. 6-point lead ASU.
Yeah, and I think you'll see North Florida go out of that zone. That ASU got 2 pretty good shots right away into it. But a good mix-up there by Matt Driscoll. They're just to mix things up. They're switching everything on the outside. That leaves room for a one-on-one down low.
Damani frustrated the offensive foul. They did set things up for an isolation. And Lawrence whistled for the foul. Them, University of San Diego and Cal, 43 apiece as they are tied up in that second half. And Texas Southern and Washington at the 8-minute mark, they're tied at 54 apiece. Busy night in the conference. Remember, UCLA coming up next against Long Beach State.
I like Hurley going pressure full court out of the timeout. Let's see if he does more of that in this last 5 minutes.
And it paid off, didn't it?
Yep. You just feel like that's going to be the key the last 5 minutes is Arizona State's ability to turn over North Florida. On the other side, that's going to be North Florida's key for them. Can they get good possessions and get good shots without turning it over?
Against Power 5 schools under the watchful eye of Matthew Driscoll, they've taken on these kind of games, these kind of trips 65 times. They've won twice. Purdue and Illinois. Purdue and Illinois.
Wow, okay.
And they know them very well. They beat Purdue in 14. They beat Illinois in 15.
Right. That's right.
it's turned over.
That was the right call. And Jackson, again, this time we've seen him on offense, and this time he applies the defensive pressure after the Arizona State turnover. Just getting Hendrickson in the back there, and then he got him with the elbow. I mean, that was clear.
So helping all sorts of ways, Jackson. Well off the mark, elevated quickly, came up empty that time. Jay Heath, who started 30 of 31 games as a freshman, Heath did.
Wow.
Nearly took it back the other way. Neal knocks it out of bounds instead.
Well, again, here's another guy, Neal, with his length and size, able to guard all the way out at half court. He had that steal, came right in front of you and I right there, and just not able to grab it. A lot of confidence Coach Hurley has in putting Neal out here late in this one.
Barnstorming North Florida has not gone away yet. School based in Jacksonville, Florida. Well, he took a swat, stopped it, knocked out of bounds. Shot clock at 20, North Florida basketball.
Well, and you can see in that possession almost 2 or 3 times they turned it over, but able to hang on to it. They had a great look for a layup, just not able to convert. But ASU starting to really dial up that pressure they can dial up.
Well, it's a veteran play, and there wasn't the help you thought you might see there. Carter Hendrickson takes advantage.
Yeah, he just got too good a position. He was down so low. Graham, nothing he could do down under that restricted circle.
He's got 11. You mentioned it, very quiet until now. Starting to warm up. 11 points, 9 rebounds for Hendrickson. That's a steal. That is a hammer. And it's a really close game now.
He got up on that one.
It's a 2-point game. Lanier forces a timeout. They play on the road all the time to pay their bills. They've won twice against the Power 5 in an upset form. Bobby Hurley hopes that doesn't happen tonight. There, and doing an outstanding job for North Florida.
Yeah, no question. Both those guys, those guards, have been going at it. Both of them have struggled a little bit from the outside coming into this one, and no problem tonight.
Placer, Masters Academy in Orlando, Florida, and in his title game had 28 points his senior year. He's fearless in big games. And they're all big for North Florida. You're always playing up until you get to conference.
Yeah, interested to see here they get Horn off of those screens coming outside. If they go down to, it's going to go back court.
Basketball turned over. Bobby Hurley's team, scoring drought of 243. 4 turnovers in their last 243.
Well, and I think big thing here, just remember, 331 if you're ASU. Just, be patient here. Did not have a couple good possessions there. Try to get things going on the defensive end, turn that into offense.
Graham's got 10 points. Lawrence Kimani has 11 points. He's got 5 rebounds. He's got 4 fouls, though. Kimani Lawrence, 4 fouls. That's worth making note of.
Definitely.
You would think they'll take it out, and Placer defended, went up against 4 white jerseys, or so it appeared.
Jackson thought about
He really
that
did,
one.
didn't
He wanted to shoot it. I think a good idea. Get into some offense. If you don't feel it right away.
A nice little touch pass. He gets it back in his hands. And talk about a clutch shot. The freshman, Jemiah Neal.
Yeah, biggest shot of the night for ASU right there.
Neal's got 7 points. He's got 3 rebounds in this one. He's played 23 minutes. Gaffney draws the whistle.
Well, again, North Florida coming out with all these traps, putting pressure on ASU. Jackson, a great job to get it out. They find the short corner, and he really had to shoot it right there. Open, the clock was going down. Good shot, and drilled it.
This North Florida team so far this year has traveled 7,000 miles. They will have looked back and traveled 23,000 miles a couple of years ago. They just are on the road all the time. 83 guaranteed games during the tenure of head coach Matthew Driscoll, 67 against Power 5. 8 guaranteed games this year. That basically means you get paid to come play.
Yeah.
And you're not asking the university to go in debt to support your program. Smart for a mid-major. It's gutsy.
It is, yeah. It's what you have to do. Keep the program going, and Matt Driscoll knows it. Done a good job with it.
One more time.
Yeah, that was, Lawrence had good position there. Got swiped over the shoulder, hit on the head. And going to the line, and this will be key. You mentioned free throw shooting earlier. It's a little bit of a problem in that first half. Didn't make any, and will be key coming down the stretch.
Yeah, 4 of 6 in the second half. That one rings in and out high, arcing free throw attempt. Kamani Lawrence, who last year was 35 of 55 from the line. That's a 64% number. Just 3 of 7 tonight. 4 of 8. ASU 5.
Wow, that was a close one. That was a close. But Sears sold it too.
That's a veteran play right there, my friend.
It was exactly what it was, because he knew once he kind of lost it. Look, he kind of loses it. Like then he went into the I've been hit, I've been fouled. I don't think he gets that call in the first half. I think sort of late in the game he got it. It was close, but not much contact there. A lot of ball.
Well, his game is fun. Yasmin, his mom, Carlos, his dad, when talking about Jose Placer. His dad played college volleyball and played it well. His night has been a big one. It's 25 points for the young man. 6 assists as well. His team's down 3.
And I think a good move by Coach Driscoll to go into the 1-3-1 trap. Jackson from deep. Wow, that was deep.
Boy, he needed that. And there is no answer. Gaffney, Neal had snuck out looking for a touchdown. They didn't find him. That's a huge shot for Marian Jackson.
Yeah, I said Neal had hit the biggest shot until that point. I think Jackson backs that up, validates that with another huge one, maybe the biggest so far. And that was big because it made it 6 and really gave ASU the breathing room they need.
Marian had just 2 points. Beautiful pass. Kamani could not close it down because Parker handed out the foul. This is huge. Again, 2 points in each of the first 2 games for that man.
Well, college basketball these days, they watch the NBA, they see how far they shoot it from. These guys all shoot it like that in practice, so not as big a deal as it used to be. But to shoot it like that with a couple minutes to go, that was the key with all the pressure. Jackson earning Sun Devil stripes right now.
He had 86 three-point makes last year. 86.
Well, you think about how many makes he's had in his career. He's had 307 three-pointers made. You compare that to the closest guy in the entire Pac-12 existing in the conference right now that's been in this conference, not a transfer. David Singleton has 113.
Wow.
Jackson has 307 coming in. I mean, he's made a ton of them.
And while he's been unable to score like he's used to, he's helped in every other way possible. Right now, he's asked to help defensively. Boy, a gutsy play for a man with 4 fouls. He blocks a shot.
Yeah, and you don't see guys often block jump hooks. Lawrence just did in a huge moment right there.
Boy, knocked back the other way. James comes up empty. Dorian took a shot at it, heading toward that 1 minute mark. 6-point lead for the Devils. They'll let that clock disappear. One more time from distance. He's a Sun Devil now. He's officially a Sun Devil.
He earned it the last one, and now you stamp it. Approved.
He is here. He is home. Hammered by Gaffney. Wow!
Well, 2 blocks the last 2 plays. Gaffney, Lawrence, the length got him. and the monster shots by Jackson. Not to mention Neal a few possessions earlier.
I think what's most impressive about Jackson is while he wasn't scoring like we're used to, he wasn't playing foolishly, forcing shots.
100%. As you called it, he was doing other things, getting assists, getting rebounds, and then the block shots, to me, were really the key. That's what got him going the other way. Like I said, you don't often see guys blocking jump hooks. Lawrence timed it perfectly, used his athleticism. And then the one by Gaffney that got you out of your seat, that was fantastic.
Well, it's 10 now. Kudos to North Florida for what they have done with this program, what they have built. They're a bear in their conference. Nobody likes playing them, and they win all the time, and this is why. They gave ASU a handful tonight. Lasser off the mark, another chance by the veteran. There's a whistle. Grabbing an offensive rebound that time, Carter Hendrickson. Bobby Hurley's team, on the other hand, again, went into the locker room up 2, but they didn't lead at all in the first half. They led at the very end, final seconds. Second half, a different story, late in the second half.
Well, he did a nice job, I think, putting the right pieces on the floor. Because we talked about it, so many guys that he can put in, 8, 9, 10 guys, but these guys haven't all played together.
No.
They haven't finished games where it's a three-point game in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and I thought he put the right combination in with Jackson. He had Neal in there, which I thought was interesting, but Neal hit that big shot, and then you have Gaffney and Kamani Lawrence down low blocking shots.
Horn with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Graham with 10 with 4 rebounds. Gaffney 4 points but 9 rebounds. Gaffney 5 assists in this game. That'll shock you when you check that out online, folks.
That's a good call.
And Enoch over there, he had some big minutes in the first half. 6 points, 5 rebounds in 9 minutes. There's a bright future for him.
Yeah, he had a nice first half. Like I said, a ton of pieces on this team. It's just getting them some time to play together.
That's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard. And, you know, it's something that everybody's dealing with these days. I mean, it's just something that's kind of the new norm. I mean, you guys had McLean on the other day talking about super seniors, but a lot of the guys are really the portal. It's the transfers. So,
yeah, Matthew Driscoll felt like every team he is playing, and I quote, is transfer you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
not Y-O-U, like you.
You.
And he said it's challenging. He said these teams load up. North Florida team, a good program in a good place. Once they get back to conference, Driscoll hollering something out to Bobby Hurley. Jackson, a couple of huge threes, has 13 points. 3 assists in this one. ASU will improve to 2-1 after a heartbreaker against UC Riverside. Home crowd loves it. Matthew Driscoll's team is off to take on UCLA in a couple of days. ASU victorious as they win this one by 9.
Well, Plaisir just hit Jackson on his butt, said, hey, great game. He had all due respect for him because Jackson came up big. I thought he came up big early, sharing the ball, getting in the lane, helping others, but then it was himself that won the game late.
ASU leaned on a lot of different players. 4 players in double figures. Horn with 16, Graham with 10, Jackson with 13.